Hi, I'm Dave Schwartz, and I'm a licensed clinical social worker in Elkins Park, Pennsylvania, just north of Philadelphia. I see primarily adults, I see some adolescents, and I see some older folks as well, couples and individuals. And we work around all kinds of different problems. General stuff like depression, anxiety, family issues, although I don't do family therapy. But primarily I work around sexuality issues and intimacy issues, relationship things. So I do a lot of work with couples, particularly around sexual problems in their relationships, sexual function and dysfunction. And in particular, one of the unusual things that I do is work with individuals and couples who are in alternative sexual lifestyles, alternative kinds of relationships. So many sexual function and dysfunction issues are connected to all the same kind of intimacy and relationship things that most people have to deal with in couples therapy. So there's a great deal of overlap. The first thing that I'd want to do with a client is a really careful assessment, because there are going to be a lot of issues that come together. You know, people don't usually just have an issue with erectile dysfunction, or they don't just have an issue with talking to their partner in the bedroom, or they don't just have an issue with fighting. Things are systemic, things do all work together, and so I'm going to want to get an understanding of how these issues became issues, having worked not only with couples, but with sex offenders and with sex addicts and with all kinds of folks that pretty much everything you can come up with I've heard. And my job is not to have any judgment about that. It's not to tell you what you should or shouldn't do. My job is to help you to have a satisfying sexual life and a satisfying intimate life in a way that doesn't hurt you or your partner or anybody else. What intimacy really is about for me, the way that I look at it and the way that I discuss it with clients, is that it's the ability to tell somebody else who you really are and have them hear it, and be able to hear what somebody else is really about. I have an analogy that I give to all my clients about boats, that we're all kind of out on the water in our own little boats, and we like to think that we can share a boat with somebody eventually. And the truth is, we're in our own skin, and there's a degree to which we are always alone, but we can tie a couple of boats together and we can look into each other's boats, and that really helps us feel less alone, and I think that's largely what relationships are about.